My name is Emily Cash. I'm a psychologist with St. Luke Institute. I work in our Louisville office, St. Luke Center, a ministry of St. Luke Institute. I want to talk a little bit about some of the psychological responses to the challenge of feeling disconnected, what is called social distancing. Sometimes that anxiety that we feel in response to a disruption to our normal daily routine, to being disconnected or apart from the people that we want to and are used to spending time with, can result in a variety of symptoms. Post-traumatic stress symptoms, heightened state of alertness and agitation, depression or anxiety symptoms, feeling unsettled, feeling noticeable changes in our levels of energy and feeling a sense of disconnectedness and despondence with our emotional life. It can affect our sleep, our ability to fall asleep at night, our ability to get good quality sleep that leads to feeling restored and refreshed in the morning. Confusion, anger, fear, frustration, and certainly when we are faced with this disruption from our normal daily schedules and tasked with managing unstructured time, we're also faced with a lot of boredom. That boredom, especially without structure, can lead to, again, increased feelings of anxiety and concern, concern for ourselves, concern for those that we're close to and unable to see and connect with, but also concern for our larger world. In an effort to try to provide a little bit of guidance on how to mitigate the psychological impact of the collective stress that we're all under, I want to offer some tangible tools and strategies that I hope will feel helpful. The first I'd like to highlight is get clear communication and clear data from health officials. Get the facts. The CDC has a website that is providing information about the data that we're collecting across the United States about how we're being impacted at the current moment. Pay attention to that. Also pay attention to the information that your local government is providing. That is the most accurate data that we have at this moment. We also have to pay attention, though, to our tendency to do a deep dive into those facts. We can get lost, and all of a sudden we might find ourselves in a dark hole spiraling with our anxiety. So while you want to pay attention to the information that you have accessible to you, you also want to pay attention to how do you limit that in a healthy and appropriate way, in a way that gives you information but doesn't unnecessarily exacerbate or activate more experiences of stress or anxiety. In a wonderful way, social media allows you to connect with people virtually, remotely, that you would like to see and know how they're doing, but are not able to be in physical contact with them at this time. Social media can be a real gift. However, we also know that social media can be a slippery slope with regards to overexposure and, again, exacerbating our feelings of stress or anxiety. So for yourself, discerning the right amount of exposure is important. Keep your social network alive. And that means thinking a little creatively and outside the box. You can't walk down the hall and spend time with a coworker. You can't necessarily get together for dinner or your normal social routines. So what do you do to ensure you stay connected? Now, I'm a list maker. So my suggestion, what I'm doing is making a list of all the people that I want to contact. And then I'm shooting them an email or a text and saying, when are you free to talk in the next couple of days? And scheduling that. That provides a little bit of structure. That provides something to look forward to. It also ensures that you're doing the work of making sure that you feel connected. Humans are socially dependent beings, and we rely on one another for contact, for connection, to feel alive. So what are you doing for yourself, knowing your own temperament, the people that are important to you, to ensure that you're staying connected? It's also an opportunity, and this is probably self-serving, to pay attention to those emails that you haven't responded to, that perhaps maybe need a more thoughtful response, a more detailed response. You also have the opportunity and probably the time now to, instead of having to respond to that email, pick up the phone and make that phone call. What are you doing to increase the voice-on-voice contact? What we know, again, as socially dependent beings, is that we thrive on feeling connected to another. So what are you doing for yourself to ensure that you're nurturing that? That is a huge way of mitigating some of the stress that we're all feeling right now. Another strategy that I'd like to suggest is, as much as you can, and I know it feels awkward to say this because you're not in your office and nothing feels normal, but maintain a regular schedule and a daily structure to your life. Most of us depend on our job, on meetings that are on the calendar to create a structure for our everyday routines. Monday, this happens. Tuesday, this happens. Wednesday, I have this meeting at 9 a.m. So we're kind of primed to develop on external routines to create structure to our lives. At this unique moment, we don't have that to rely on. So I would urge you as much as you can to try to implement a structure for every day. That in and of itself has a healthy impact on how we manage our day, our time. It allows us to feel more productive and energized, especially in a state where things feel abnormal and uncertain. So very tangibly, that means getting up and going to bed at your normal times, keeping that same routine. That has a positive impact on your sleep, has a positive impact on your energy level. That regularity is important to our physical health. Look at your day, think about it the night before, and try to break off different parts of your day into manageable chunks, maybe 1 to 2 hour blocks, a hybrid of things that you want to get done in your home, but also including what your work responsibilities are. Build in a break in the morning, 15 or 20 minutes, build in a lunch break, the same that you would have at work or your ministry, and then build in a break in the afternoon. As much as you can, perhaps if those breaks could be physical activity, that would be even better. We know the benefits of physical activity on our emotional and mental health are significant. It releases positive, feel-good endorphins, and it also allows us to manage our stress and our levels of anxiety a little bit better. So what you can do to make sure that you are implementing and putting in structure for your day allows us to, again, help mitigate some of that impact that the anxiety is having on us in this uncertain time. Anytime I'm working with folks that are in ministry and healthcare, and there's a focus on others, I encourage folks to pay attention to their personal engine light. When the engine light goes on in your car, we are immediately alerted to, we need to get it into the shop, we need to have a tune-up, we need to get our oil changed. We all also have our own personal check engine lights. So what are the little signs, either emotionally or physically, that we notice when we're starting to feel stressed? At this moment, we're all going to have some of those. And it's very, very important to pay attention to them and to respond in kind and gentle ways to ourselves so that we're better able to endure this uncertain time. Finally, I'd like to end by saying this is a difficult and uncertain time. And so grounding yourself in a deeper, richer perspective of why we're doing what we're doing is important. Every day when we feel that sense of inconvenience or hardship, we ground ourselves in a deeper perspective, knowing that we're doing the right thing. I hope that what I've shared today has been helpful. Thank you very much and take good care.